Have you ever wanted to approach a woman but hesitated because you didn't want to come across creepy? Or maybe you didn't want to look desperate? This is a situation that many men are facing, and if it's not handled correctly, it can end up in really awkward situations, rejection, or damage to your confidence. But I'm here to encourage you that you can approach women with confidence and respect, and I'm going to tell you how. The reality is that if you don't learn how to approach a woman, you might be missing out on so many amazing opportunities and your person. And in this digital era and this generation that we're living in, there are so many missed opportunities to connect with someone on a human level. So I really want us to dive deeper into this topic and to encourage men everywhere. This is a PSA, a public service announcement, especially on behalf of all single women out there, that we do want to be approached. So we're going to cover 4 key areas, including how to not look desperate, the best times and places to approach someone, how to handle rejection with grace, and how to recognize signs of interest before making a move, because that will fill you with so much more confidence. And also it's just a tactful thing to be able to pick up cues and when someone's flirting with us, because I really feel like the art of flirting has just been completely lost in the digital age, and we need to bring it back, and we need to be able to recognize it. You know, when a woman is dropping the hanky, please men, pick it up if you can see it. We're trying to be really obvious, we're trying to give you the green light. So let this be hopefully motivating. So avoiding desperation. Well, first of all, and it's something I like to hit home on a lot, it's really understanding our inherent worth as a child of God, right? So if we all understood our inherent worth, we wouldn't have that desperation or that scarcity mindset that this is our only chance, this is our shot, like this has to be it. Because that kind of desperation that you exude, it comes from a place of insecurity. It comes from a place that we don't trust that God has a plan for us, and we don't trust that He has the right person and the right time for us. And that can also stop us from putting our best foot forward because we maybe aren't seeing our value, and then that makes us act more desperate as well. And by talking about exuding desperation, it's something in our body language. You know, we're like fidgeting a lot, or we're looking around a lot. Something I notice at a lot of kind of young adult events is sometimes I'm talking to someone of the same sex, so a woman, and she'll be looking at me, but she's totally looking over my shoulder because she's trying to scan the room to see if there's anyone around. And there's something about that that's really off-putting, not only in conversation or in friendship circles, but you can just see it. Like, it's a very obvious kind of vibe that you're giving off. Or maybe you're like slouching, or there's something about your body language that just looks a little bit like you're not that confident. You're not there because you're enjoying it. You're there because you feel like this is your only chance, this is your shot. And the unrelaxed nature of all of that is really off-putting. We don't want to come across overly eager. We want to, you know, stand tall, look confident, look relaxed, look at ease. Because when you look at ease, it makes other people feel at ease around you. Our tone matters as well. We should speak in a clear, calm, and confident manner. Like, don't rush what you're trying to say, or be overexcited, or be completely lackluster in the way you're speaking. It's a really good way to find that tone, that balance. And be mindful of compliments. You know, there's this whole thing on the internet about like the pick-me girl. And I suppose the idea behind that is someone who just doesn't give genuine compliments. It's more just like, pick me, please, because I'm gonna, you know, say that you look really great, or laugh at all your jokes, or just say things that maybe aren't rooted in authenticity, or, you know, they're not that genuine. So I think that compliments are great. I personally am like a words of affirmation gal when it comes to my love languages, but no one wants a compliment that they haven't earned at all. I think there's something really wonderful and beautiful about, you know, maybe you are sharing something that you've been learning or something that you've written, and someone says, wow, that really touched me, like what you said really resonated with me. That is such a hard-hitting compliment, as opposed to someone who might say, you know, I might be like, hi, I'm a writer, and they're like, oh my gosh, you must be such a great writer. Having not read anything I've written, it's a bit of an empty statement, you know? So I think that there's something about that, and like picking your moments to compliment the person, because that allows you to come across as yourself, and to really come across that you have heard this person and seen this person. You're not just desperate for any person. There's like a personal attachment to it, and I think that's really important. And when we're acting too desperate and we're just seeing someone as an avenue to a relationship, we aren't also giving them the respect and the inherent dignity that they deserve, because they are literally a person made in the image and likeness of God. So anyone that we come across, whether we are interested in them romantically or not, deserves to be treated with that respect, because they are like our brother or sister in Christ, and there's something really special about that. So maybe you want to avoid the online dating apps. I don't blame you. I'm doing that myself. So where can you meet new people? Where can you meet your person? And that's where social settings where interaction feels natural needs to come back into fashion. Think of a coffee shop and maybe you're in the queue and you can just strike a conversation with someone, or a bookstore where you're seeing someone pick up a book that you've already read and you can just say, oh, that's actually a really good one, I'd recommend that. Or an event where people are mingling. I think too many of us just keep ourselves to ourselves, and we all love the idea of a meet cute in these rom-coms and things, and back in the day, like how our grandparents met, it often was through these small interactions, a conversation struck in a grocery store, or having a friendly chat with the person you're sat next to on a plane or at a bus stop. Like, these things happen, but they only happen to people who are open to actually bringing back that culture. So I really want to encourage more people to just be open and be receptive and have those conversations, because even if it's not from a romantic point of view, it's just really lovely to build community as well. And it's something, again, in the modern age, we've just really let go of. We just live such isolated and insular lives, and we don't necessarily see the people within our proximity. So definitely encouraging you to get out there more. But of course, when you're seeing someone in these settings, pay attention to their body language. Do they look open? Are they completely engrossed in their phone? Do they look stressed? Are they on their laptop, obviously working? Like, you have to pick up on people who might be open. So, are they just people watching? Are they just sitting, staring into space? Are they there with their dog and you could mention something about their dog? Are they trying to carry too many things and you could offer to help them? Like, it's all about being situationally aware and seeing the opportunities. And approaching should feel casual. This doesn't need to feel like you're proposing to a stranger. You can just say, hi, I couldn't help but notice. Hi, your dog is so cute. What's their name? Hi, what coffee order did you get? That looks really good. Hey, I've been thinking about picking up that book. Have you read it before? I don't know, something like that. Let's just come up with scenarios. I'm really trying to romanticize my life and be like, I am the main character of the movie that is my life. And that almost removes the pride or the ego that you have about doing these things, because it's like, maybe it's going to fall flat and the other person's going to be like, huh? But firstly, it's a good story. And secondly, it's good to train ourselves, right? Like, there was that guy who challenged himself to get 100 rejections with 100 days or something like that. And he'd go to the coffee shop and say, hi, can I have this for free? And it was like, no, you can't. But he was training himself to just be able to pick himself up after facing a rejection, because he wanted to learn that it's not the end of the world. And I think if we can really take that on board, we can have a lot more fun in our life, and we can also just take opportunities and take those chances, and who knows where it might lead. So remember that timing and consideration is everything, but also being tactful, being aware, being vigilant. Maybe that sounds a bit intense, but just seeing, is there someone who's open for a conversation here? Because I think too many of us, we're just in this bubble and we don't realize that there are so many amazing people around us. We just don't see them. And that is why we are all going to this swiping culture, because we're too worried to strike up a conversation in real life. And who knows, maybe it's not your person, maybe it's not your romantic partner, but it might be a friend, or it might just be a nice interaction that fills you with joy for the day. But of course, the more we put ourselves out there, the more we are going to be open for rejection. So we definitely need to be detached from the response that we receive. And what I mean by that is to know that our value isn't measured by whatever this person answers. We must detach our worth from other people's responses. No one's reaction to you is a reflection of your value as a person. It really helps to mentally prepare that it probably will be a no, or maybe this person's just not used to a stranger speaking to them, because we do live in this generation's time where we all seem to be very suspicious of each other. We're all very much like, I don't know you, so I'm not going to talk to you. But it's just such a small-minded way of living. And I personally am trying to expand my community. That's like a big goal of mine this year. So I really don't want to miss out on having a connection and real life interaction with someone. Think of every interaction as practice. That will help so much because it's not this make or break moment. It's just like practice for my social skills, for my conversational skills, and that's going to help you across every avenue of your life, from your familial relationships to your work and your career. So you really have nothing to lose. And truly, rejection almost always has more to do with the other person than with yourself. Of course, you might just not be their type. They might immediately know they're not into you, and that is also fine. It literally takes one person to be into you that you're also into. And it's a real art to be able to accept that and just be like, oh yeah, no problem at all, and walk away with your head held high, but also water off a duck's back. Like it's like, whatever, that's not gonna seep into my security of myself and my self-confidence. It just wasn't the right fit. And if it's not the right fit, it's just not right. And if it's not right, you don't want it. Plus, rejection is a great tool forward for really understanding humility and the virtue of humility. And I say that being a Catholic who is afraid to pray the litany of humility, because every time I pray it, God answers me and kind of humiliates me so that I can learn that humility and lean into it. And I don't really like that because I struggle with pride and ego. So I'm saying this like, please, let's lean more into humility, because I know it's such an amazing virtue and an amazing quality to have, but it's really difficult, especially in this day and age where we all want to be liked and seen and known and, you know, get the glory and everything. So as much as it's really cheesy, that saying of like, feedback is a gift, in a way, rejection is a gift, because if you take it with grace and you take it on the chin, it's one step closer to being a more humble person and being filled with that humility. And that's a really hard lesson and hard virtue to learn, but I think it will really serve you in every part of your life moving forward anyway. And lastly, let's talk about the signs that she may be interested, because this is juicy and this is good. So you want to look for positive body language. What I mean by that is she maintaining eye contact? Is she looking at you a little bit longer than maybe is normal? Is she leaning in slightly? Is she mirroring your gestures? Like, there's a way to see if this positive body language is present. Are her responses engaged? Is she laughing at your jokes? Is she asking you questions? Is she continuing the conversation? These are all signs that we as women are interested. And on the flip side of that, if, you know, she seems distracted, if she's looking at her phone, if she's giving one-word answers, that's probably the cue that she's not interested, and you should gracefully make your exit. So all in all, just remember that approaching someone is about connection. It's not about performance. When you're respectful, confident, genuine, and observant, you're going to come across well. And please remember that approaching a woman you don't know is not creepy in itself. It does not need to be creepy. You can just do it with confidence, with poise, with grace, and also, like, you know, understand personal space, for example. Like, if you're approaching someone publicly, they should not feel intimidated by you, but it should be filled with lightness. Like if it's in a coffee shop, a bookshop, a park, like somewhere public, preferably daylight, because that's always less intimidating, and just make it feel more normal. Like, we have to normalize just striking up conversations with strangers if we do want to expand our networks, and if we do want to hopefully meet someone new and someone offline and someone IRL and have that good origin story or that good meet cute. And that's not to say that you should act in a way only to get the good meet cute, but there is something so lovely about just meeting someone so organically, in that sense of, you know, literally like bumping into them on the street and then you get married. But you know what I mean? Like, just seeing every interaction as a potential for connection with another human being. You know, approaching someone with respect and confidence and complete openness that they might not be interested, they might already be in a relationship, they might be married, whatever it is, and complete grace that you're like, oh yeah, sorry, didn't mean to disturb you, or well, I hope you have a great day anyway. Like, it doesn't need to feel so deep. It does not have to feel so deep. It can just be a hello, and who knows what that could open. And I think if more of us were less paranoid about coming across weird, it would normalize this whole culture more anyway. So yeah, I think as long as you're acting in respect and dignity, and you are giving an option, of course, for the woman to say, I'm not interested, and then you just leave it, and you're able to read those signs, and hopefully you're able to see those signs even before the conversation has happened. It's all about that self-awareness and then awareness of others. And I think if you can really hone that skill in, it's going to serve you across lots of different facets of your life anyway. Because I really think we need to reignite this whole culture so that there can be more good marriages, holy families, and people just feeling fulfilled living out their vocation. I'm Delphine, and I've helped hundreds of young adults approach the dating world with confidence, intentionality, and purpose. And if you think any of my insight, whether that is my own personal experience or things that I've been learning, talking to others, reading about, hearing, and then please do subscribe, because I would love to help you realize your own self-worth and get out there in the dating world and meet your person, find your person, and build something really beautiful. All right, well, God bless, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.